I bought 2 boxes of Smarties. See, there's Smarties there. They're like candy-coated chocolate. And they're Smarties. See, they're in French and English because I'm in Canada, so we're bilingual here. And so I got these 2 boxes of Smarties. And I have my cat. Now, Rocky is smart. He doesn't need to eat Smarties to be smart. He just is smart. But in my case, I might need to eat some Smarties because I'm kind of silly. It's funny, when I was a little kid, I'll tell you a story. When I was a little kid, my dad worked in a wool factory. And he was a tool and die maker and an industrial mechanic. You would probably sooner look at Rocky than look at the Smarties. So we'll focus in on him. And he was the union leader. He was trying to get a union into the factory. In the end, that didn't work because the police were intimidating everybody and people got scared and the union didn't go in. And my dad ended up blacklisted and everything. He wasn't able to get a job except that he went back to work in a shoe factory. And he was able to get in there because we had family that was management in there. Anyway, because he was labeled a troublemaker for being a union organizer. This was back in the early 1970s. I used to go with my dad sometimes to the union meetings. They were held at a hotel at night, and different people would be there. A lot of the men that worked in the factory were missing fingers and stuff like that. I remember that. There were a lot of guys that had digits missing on their hands and so on. And there was one old guy, and a very friendly old guy, and he knew I used to go to the union meetings with my dad. And so whenever we had a union meeting, he would bring a box of Smarties. Now, they look different back then than they do now. This little box wasn't what we had. It was a different kind of a box, but bigger box than this. Anyway, he'd bring a box of Smarties with him, and he'd always give me a box of Smarties when he saw me. He used to hand me a box of Smarties, and he used to say, "Here you go, young lad, and hopefully these will make you smart." I remember that. And the poor guy was missing most of his fingers on one hand, and maybe one of his fingers or 2 of his fingers on the other hand, but it's just something I remember from when I was a little kid anyway. I remember the police driving through the parking lot taking down license plate numbers too, whenever there was a union meeting on. But like I say, those were different times anyway. And I was only 3-4 years old at the time, and I remember it well. But whenever I see Smarties, whenever I get a box of Smarties, I always remember that old fella with the missing fingers grinning down at me while he handed me the box of Smarties and telling me if I only ate these, then maybe I'd be smart. It didn't work, but I'm still trying. After all these years, I'm 54 years old now, and I'm still trying to get smart by eating Smarties. Pretty silly, I know. But anyway, kind of a funny story in a way, I hope. I hope you enjoy it. Rocky is doing better today. He had a bad day yesterday at the vet's. He was kind of ugly with the vet. He wasn't happy at all, and I guess the vet was afraid of him. So I've been told that when I bring Rocky back, he'll have to be sedated or he won't be allowed to come back. So anyway, normally Rocky's pretty gentle, but he wasn't too happy yesterday. I wasn't able to find out what's going on with his leg. He did get his booster shot, so he's safe now from rabies and distemper and all that stuff the cats can get, and that's a good thing. But, yeah, anyway, that's about it. He's doing better today, and he's more himself today anyway. Talk later. Have a good night, guys.